What's going on, YouTube? Your boy Ocho, and we back at it again with another video today, y'all. In order to be successful in life, we have to implement a few positive traits and a few positive outlooks in order to get what we want. Lone Ranger at your service. So, do realize and do understand that success doesn't come overnight. It's usually a typical, yearly or monthly or weekly. It takes time to be successful. A lot of times, a lot of people expect, results and all the success to just fall into, their lap. But it doesn't work like that in all reality. When we talking about success, and I'm not even successful, but, even I know this shit. So, even I know this shit and I'm trying to pass it along to you. But the better success, the more long-term beneficial success typically happens, within a set period of time span. So with that being said, I'm gonna start by saying practice makes perfect. When you practice at something, when you work at something, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Let's say you start a YouTube channel, you start making YouTube videos. Eventually you're gonna be like top level, top shit, because simple fact, you're steady working at it and you keep sharpening those skills and sharpening your mindset and your craft to your own ability. So, eventually, if you keep practicing, you keep working at whatever you're trying to get at, you will get the end results that you're looking for in due time, guaranteed. Self-belief is key, because nobody can stop you but you. A lot of times we're our own worst enemy because nobody is more hard on us than ourselves. Like, a lot of people will sit there and try to, it's a difference between people trying to bash you and you just having self-doubt in your mind. A lot of people trying to bash you are typically, a lot of haters and people that just are upset with, it's a lack of insecurity. It's more insecurity in themselves where they lack at. So the reflection of you being successful, they don't know how to handle that because simple fact, they want what you got and are capable in their right mind to have what you have. So it tends to turn into, you can't do this, you're not this, oh, you got a little lucky anyway, and that's just how I see that. When you do right, you'll get right back. A lot of people don't realize that the energy you give out and the energy you put out, if you go around being a negative, mean ass, pissed off ass person, you're gonna get pissed off, energy and shit. You're not gonna get positive outcome and positive outlook on the situation or scenario if you're steady constantly being negative, because of the fact you don't see from the other side. You will not see from the other point of view because your focus and your mind is literally set on this mentality, and you're to the point where you don't want to see the other shit and you don't want to believe it. So when you put out that negative energy, you'll get that back because simple fact, that's what you're believing. So that's why you're doing it. Let's see. When you do something, when you practice at something, everything you do, you need to do on a higher frequency and a higher consistency and a higher basis and a higher level of doing it on. Because simple fact, when you do higher shit on a higher result, so let's say you're playing basketball. Instead of shooting free throws, you're doing all these other drills and doing things to basically make your game stand out and be more official. Like, let's say you're Stephen Curry, right? You're doing the two-hand dribbles instead of the one-hand dribble, or two-hand dribble drills. I know y'all seen where he be, doing some wicked shit with both his hands with two basketballs. When you do shit like that and you do shit on a higher expectancy, you'll tend to get better results. Like, this perfect example, when you're younger, let's say you're playing basketball and you're younger and you're playing with better people, older people, you will typically be better than your age group because simple fact, you're doing it on a higher frequency and consistency. That's just how that goes. You got to cut out all habits, cut out all distractions and all setbacks, either momentarily or for good. Sometimes you got to do for good. We're gonna get into that, but the setbacks are basically situations or scenarios. If, let's say, you go to jail, right? you got to cut that shit out. Cut out the bullshit. Whatever you doing to make you go to jail, if you're affiliated with a gang or whatever, you have to cut that shit out in order to see opposite of that. Distractions, a lot of friends, family. It can be anybody who can be a distraction. Anybody who basically is not on board with doing at least at your level, or doing what you're doing, or doing higher than what you're doing, they're a distraction, because the simple fact they're going to tell you otherwise, and tell you negative, and tell you not to do this, not to do that. Habits tend to turn towards like drugs, or a negative gambling, not negative gambling, but basically time consuming shit that's not worth your while. So when you have shit like that and you do shit like that, you're basically wasting your time, you're wasting your energy. So therefore you can't practice makes perfect. You cannot do that. You cannot practice makes perfect, because the simple fact, your time's going elsewhere. You're not putting 50% energy. You're not putting 100% of your energy into what you're trying to do. So let's say 50% spiritual, 50% physical, as in you doing. You're taking a fraction of the percentage of the energy that you're putting in to do what you need to do into some negative shit. So get rid of the habits, the distractions, the setbacks, for either momentarily or good. If it's for good, typically a lot of people, like I said, that falls into the setbacks. If it has to be for good, if somebody keeps bringing you down and they keep doing wrong by you, but then they swear up and down it's going to change, and, oh, I feel bad, cut that shit the fuck out. Because obviously ain't shit changed. And I was a fool to believe shit like that. I don't want you to believe shit like that. And I'm not mad. I'm just passionate, y'all. Like, I'm passionate about this shit because it's like, I want to see people do better. I'm here to spread the positivity, spread the energy. I want people to be successful. I want to be successful. I want to see other people prosper. That's my main job and goal in life, is to help other people. I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker. I've always wanted to be just somebody to make a difference, make change. We'll go into that in story time, sooner or later. But you got to find what you like and what you desire, because simple fact, a lot of times, for instance, parents will typically try to live their dreams throughout their kids. So what they didn't get to do, where they didn't make it to, they didn't they gonna try to put it on their kids to do that. And a lot of times what I've seen is kids don't like to do what their parents force them to do, because simple fact, if they want to do it, they'll choose to do it. They'll ask to do it. Another example, let's say for example, you don't like going to church. Your parent or your mom or dad makes you go to church. You're not gonna want to go to church. Like, for all my religious people, as y'all know, every person has to find God for themselves. You have to let people find God. Now, I'm not saying don't encourage them, don't persuade them, and don't, but everybody has to find God for themselves. It is what it is. You can't force somebody to do something. And typically, when you're forced to do something, later on, you end up giving it up, because in fact, you're not doing it for the love of the game no more. You're not doing it because that's what you love to do, or that's what you like to do. You're doing it because you feel like you're obligated to, or you're forced to, or to make somebody else proud. But in all reality, you're not proud. You're not happy to be doing it. So find whatever it is you like to do and just do it. Work at it for as long as needed, and you need to work at it for, past the point of reach. So what I mean by that is a simple fact. In order to work at something, you don't just stop once you receive it. You keep fucking going. That's how you be successful, because simple fact, you don't give up once you get what you wanted. Because let's say you got $1,000 tomorrow. You spend that $1,000. Now all of a sudden you have nothing to go off of going forward. So the $1,000 is gone. Now all of a sudden you don't have anything else, and you've got what you want. Like, I see a lot of rappers get, one hit single or one hit wonder or one blow up song, and now all of a sudden they're done with, trying to be successful and working at it. Now all of a sudden they're not dropping album after album after album, trying to grind for success because they got it, and then that's how they fall off, and they lose everything. $1,000 is gone. That's that shit I'm talking about. Don't give up once you get it, though. That's the main key to this at the end of the day. Once you get it, you got to keep working at it. And once you do get it in due time, because if you have self-belief and you believe in yourself, it'll happen. You'll get back the energy you're giving out. But basically what I'm trying to say is, don't give up, y'all. Keep going. Keep working at it. I love y'all. Have a good one. Oh, my bad, y'all. Also, P.S. I also want to add in, a lot of times you got to put time, effort, and money, into, trying to build a business or be successful. So basically you have to, sometimes you got to invest a little bit of money or a little bit of time, or you have to basically invest in something else to get going to the next level. Like basically what you put in now, which I think I already explained that, but what you put in now will add into, some of the throttle of, where you're trying to be at later on. So if you invest $100,000, you take a loan for $100,000 and implement it into this business, in all reality, that's basically what you need to get the business going. So a lot of times you're going to have to basically put something in at first and start upgrading as you go in order to keep it going and keep, shit like that. So think about it like this. For instance, for simple say, I don't want to make, you got a restaurant. A restaurant's peak of earning, the greatest amount of money, the best money, is when they're busy as hell, packed out, just table to table, wall to wall type shit. When it's empty and they don't have as much abundance, they're not making money, they're not gaining anything. So it was basically like, if the store is dead, the business is dead. If the store is live and alive, it'll be alive and live. So I love y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe, please, please, please. Every little bit of effort, makes a difference in the world. So I love y'all. Leave thoughts, comments below. Email me if you got to. I'm gonna leave that in the description. There will be another video right after this one.